My name is Mahdi Jawanmardi. I'm an assistant professor. He was always saying elites should lead this country toward deep scientific advancement so that one country can be standing resistance and strong if the knowledge and science is leading that country. And he was always mentioning it, even sometimes sharply targeting the responsibles in the different ministries related to science, so that they have to ease the science to be leading the country. And also he was telling to the scientists and academicians, like, don't wait others' facilitations only. If you feel you can do something by yourself, don't wait others, do your work. And he has one very impactful sentence for me, that he was saying, like, wherever you are, whatever you do, feel or imagine that you are in the center of the world and do the thing you are doing right now in the best way. That is the key to the success. I could not imagine after him, and maybe same as the Muslims after Imam Hossein. Maybe they could not imagine what would happen after the grandson of Prophet is being killed by others also called Muslims. And but based on what today I'm living among my society, among Iranians, every night, every day in the streets, it was unimaginable for me myself. I feel today our society, our nation is more dedicated, more strong, and we believe more in his path. And we are more dedicated to follow what he defined for us, because we have a lot of memories, a lot of speech, a lot of frameworks he defined for us. And Alhamdulillah, today his son, which is, I believe, closest as a character, as a spirit to him, is leading the country. And therefore, I believe we can be more clearly and more dedicatedly follow his path with more strength, more resistance, and with no hesitation. The funerals are among Muslims, and especially among Shias, very important ceremonies, very important part of our yearly life, because we every year mourn for our values, for including Imam Hossein. You said today we are in Muharram, which is named after Imam Hossein. We know Muharram because of the incident of the Karbala. And in our culture, in fact, I believe shahadat, or passing away itself, how to say, we have a saying that we have a verse from Quran that don't consider the martyrdoms as a dead or died people, they are alive. And we see that in the incident of Karbala and what happened to Imam Hossein. And now we are almost 14 centuries away from the Karbala incident. And we say every day is Ashura, which is the 10th of Muharram, and the day Imam Hossein was being killed. And everywhere is Karbala, which it means after his shahadat, he is more alive for our nations, our societies, all Muslims. And I believe the same is happening for Ayatollah Khamenei and his funeral. You know, Arba'in, which we call 14th day after one person dies, is very important ceremony or part of our funeral or mourning for our loss. And for that reason, we are used to waiting long time after losing loved ones to deeply mourn and value that lost one. And because of the special situation our country was facing during the war and after this, I would say, temporary ceasefire we are in now, that we not only waited 40 days, we waited almost 4 months for being able to mourn for the biggest sacrifice of the modern history our nation is facing. And I believe Ayatollah Khamenei's funeral will be the biggest event, the biggest funeral of not only Iran. It will be one of the biggest funeral on the modern history of the world, which we are going to face after the passing away of Imam Khomeini, which it was also great. But Imam Khomeini lost his life in natural way, but Ayatollah Khamenei was totally different. He was being killed by the worst people. He was being killed by the worst people, and he was being killed with his family, even with a very young little girl, his granddaughter. And I think it really touched the heart of many of Iranians. And I cannot explain it easily by the words. I think the most impactful part of his character for me was his beliefs to his past, to his ways. Why? Because he was trying to make clear what is correct, and at the same time saying, like, of course the correct way has the cost to pay. And he was saying, first, the most important thing for each of us is to know what is the correct, and whatever cost it has, we have to follow the correct. And at the end, we have to say, he was mentioning one verse from Quran, which from the Prophet Musa, saying like, "Ennama ya Rabbi fasayahdin," which it means, my God is with me. I don't care who else is against me, who else is trying to make me on my knees, but I know what is correct, and my God is with me. I believe in Ayatollah Khamenei's thoughts. Iran as one country, as a nation, had a really important position for the world. Why? Because Iran is one of the, or I would say the only country who is standing against the hegemony of the power of the United States. And I would also say Iran is important because if Iran can stand on its foot and say, look, I'm independent, I wouldn't I wouldn't follow any world power who is trying to make one nation on knee. And if Iran succeed, or if Iran can be successful, then many other nations would have same self-confidence. And I think the world structure, the distribution of the power would totally change. And for that reason, leader was having special hope on Iranian nation. And I believe that day is very close. And I believe we can show that we can stand on our own foot and we won't surrender to any other power. I think one of the most important message of the Ayatollah Khamenei to the youth of Iran and of course of the world was how our dignity is important. How we have to respect ourselves as a human being, as not a toy to be manipulated by others. And for that reason, I think in his message to the youth of West, he mentioned to the young generation of the West that instead of following the true values of Islam and true values which Iranian nation and resistance is following, instead of listening to Western medias, go and read, go and learn about Islamic values from original sources. Then you will find the values which you can connect yourself to it. And then we have a lot of things to share. And we can be much more united, much more valuing ourselves. I think the path Ayatollah Khamenei drew for us is that we should not limit ourselves to the borders. We should think as a ummah, as a whole. We are not just Iranians, we are not just Persians. We are all the world, all the Muslim communities. We have to be together. And I mentioned it before too. We have to feel what we are doing today is the most important thing. Doesn't matter if I'm teacher, if I'm university professor, if I'm student, even if I'm a simple worker, or if I'm driver, if I'm housewife, doesn't matter. We have to think what is my responsibility today and do what I'm doing in the best way, and don't limit myself to just very small surrounding or small community around me. Think very global, very ummah based. Don't distinguish people by the race, by the nationality, and let's work together. We have a long path to go, and inshallah we can be seeing the golden time, the golden age of our ummah soon. One of the reasons AI is important is that AI will shift the paradigm of the society. It means it changes the way we live, and you already see that many of the simple tasks, maybe before we were using a lot of different laborers, people, specialists to do. Now we can use many simple AI tools to do it personally for me, for any of us, it means. And in near futures, many aspects of our societies will be managed by the AI, in the meaning that instead of we develop skills, the persons who can do simple things in a very efficient, without mistakes or in a very fast way, we have to train the models, we have to train the systems that can do these things much more better than the human beings. And this topic of AI, or this paradigm of AI, became important for Ayatollah, I believe, because we as a Iran and we as a people who are trying to stand on ourselves and trying to be independent, we faced the many experiences that when there is one scientific field which is very important for nations to grow, and when the West understands the importance of that science for the nations and for the controlling the world in the future, they start limiting others. They start making organizations, standards, which, like, whoever wants to work on AI, they have to send a copy of what they are doing, what is their application, and they make it in a way that we are thinking for the global well-being. But in fact, we see how they are misusing these organizations, these knowledges, these standards, or these committees to limit other small nations, big nations, to be independent, to grow, to make huge developments, and to be a possible rival for them. And for that reason, even today is maybe late, but we have to especially work on AI, because AI is really going to change the future of science, future of the society, technology. We Iranians call him Agha, which means the man. And if I want to explain to him, I would say he is my man.